Because yes, it's not all positives. None of them are deal breakers. Well, maybe apart from one down here.
This isn't a transporter. It isn't a transit even, but it's something arguably better. I'll show you the exterior and some of the dimensions soon. But first, let's have a look at the campervan aspects, because surely that's the most important part, right? This campervan is built by a manufacturer who's got a long-standing history of building leisure vehicles, including motorhomes as well. And it's part of a new range of vehicles which this manufacturer has got. And I'm going to be showing you some of the motorhomes in future videos and a bigger campervan. But they're all about the same kind of price, which brings that question. And I've just actually seen somebody in this showroom who's just said, why would you buy that when you can buy that? Because one of the motorhomes is behind me and it's actually the same price. So why would you buy it? Well, that's because this is a daily driver. It is a transporter size. It is a transit size. And in Swift's own words, because it's a Swift branded vehicle, they say, embark on diverse journeys from city streets to school runs and beyond. The Monza remains your key to endless possibilities. It's a camper van that you can daily drive. Let's get inside and have a look. So this Swift Monza is actually built on the Ford Teneo platform. So it isn't a transit. It's built on the passenger carrying vehicle of its, well, brother or sister, you would say. And inside, you see, very familiar from the previous Swift Monza, which was actually a very, very good vehicle, but this one has been improved further. So first of all, we're going to have a look at the bed. So this is the seat bed, and you can see that it seats 3 people. So you can actually have 3 people travelling in the back of the vehicle, along with 2 people travelling in the front. So it's actually going to be able to carry 5 people. But as far as sleeping wise, you've got sleeping downstairs for 2 people, because this is the Remo 3000 Variotech bed. And then you've got sleeping for 2 occupants upstairs, which we shall have a look at in a little moment. Now these seats, you can see, are leather trimmed with the, it's not Alcantara, but it is a softer velour type material in between. And then it's got the diamond stitching, which is very common these days because it's what people seem to like. So like I said, this does pull out and it comes out into a bed for 2 people, measuring 3'8" wide, I think it is, and 6'6" in length. So it is only a campervan bed, so it isn't the widest of beds. So not only obviously can you sleep in it and you can sit in it, but with it being the Remo 3000, you can see you can actually move the bed position of it, or the seat position of it. So this actual seat here can move forward into different positions, and that obviously helps it along when you're actually turning it into a bed as well. So coming a little bit further inside, we've obviously got the kitchen area, familiar kitchen area. Yes, it is a familiar campervan layout, one of the standard ones, and the reason for that is because it is popular. People do like it. I know people will say that it's just the same old boring layout. It's what people want. People do choose this over the other alternative options. So first of all, we'll come in the top, and they've got some lovely latches on these cupboards, and obviously you've got some storage in there, and I'll close it properly this time. And then you've got another one just over here. So down, we've got slightly different, slightly wider, bit of a greater aperture, so you can fit some greater things in there. And then you've got your shut-off valves in there as well. And then you've got another one here, which is slightly wider again. And then here we've got our first opening drawer. So a nice mechanism on that, nice, quiet and soft, and it's soft close to shut it as well. And I do like the latches, they're just a really positive engagement in those latches. We have another one here. Now obviously within the current seating position of this bed seat, we're not actually going to be able to open that, but when the bed's in a different position, then we would obviously be able to open it. Here, we open this up, and again, we have storage, but additionally to the storage, we've also got a toilet. A lot of people in a lot of the videos do say, it doesn't have a toilet. Well, it does. Personally, I like to see the toilet stored in the under the rib bed. This obviously isn't a rib bed, it's the Variotech, so you can't in this. So this is another storage position, you can have it, which just means that you can't put your pots and pans in there. But there's actually an even better feature of that, which I will show you in a moment. So with the toilet being in that one, then you've not got it being taken up in space here. So what you've got here, you do have a drawer, again, with a positive catch, and it's got quite a lot of space in there. You can see you've got the insulated windscreen covers, so there's plenty of room for storing your goods in there. So because the toilet's not there, you can put other things there. It isn't lacking varying different storage options. Moving along here, look at this, you've got a fridge, but it's got a handle here. What does this mean? Well, if you pull it, it's a drawer. So this one, it's a Vitra Frigo fridge. It's a fridge and a freezer. It's 42 litre. It's electrically operated, so it's going to be running on the 12-volt battery. But again, it's got another little beauty of a trick, this van up its sleeve, which I'll come on to in a little bit of a moment. But to keep that battery topped up, it's got solar panel. It's got a solar panel on the pop-top roof, as standard. But before I come on to that, we've got the kitchen. So kitchen-wise, it's got the usuals. So it's got a sink, and it has got a 2-burner hob. Now this is the Dometic 2-burner hob. Why wouldn't they be fitting a Dometic 2-burner hob? It's a product which has been used for many years, and it is very popular because it is good at what it does. So you've got that hob there. So just coming back to the units which I've mentioned up here, and what I really do like about this van, I really like the curvature of this. So it's got the curve up there, it's also following the similar lines down here, and then when you come across to this side, it's got the similar curves as well. And I think that's just kind of a really, really kind of nice touch. Just takes it away from those usual, just the usual kind of, you know, distinct lines. I actually really do like that. And also what I do like is this control panel. So first of all, we've got some USBs here, so just the standard USB-Cs, and then we've got a 240 volt socket here. Now that is only available on hookup. The vehicle doesn't actually come with an inverter. We've got an air dispatcher diesel heater, which is going to be keeping you warm on those cooler nights. But this panel is something I really do like. So as far as the features on this is concerned, it's obviously you can able to control your lighting. So you've got your main lighting there, turn that on and off, and then you've got your auxiliary lighting, which is actually on a dimmer. You've got the controlling of the lights, you've got your battery. So this vehicle comes with a 95 amp hour leisure battery included in it. So that's telling you what the battery power is, and it's also going to be telling you what your vehicle battery is as well, if you come across. So it's telling you the state that it's charging, and is good because we have got it connected on electricity. So it also tells you your tanks. So it's going to be telling you your clean water level, and it'll also be telling you your waste water level. So it's got onboard tanks, which will show you outside, to obviously have your water. Various different thermostats within the vehicle. It's got the internal temperature, the humidity, and the exterior temperature. But I can assure you it is not currently minus 25 degrees. So main screen there, and you've got your various different menus which we've just been in, and then you've got your settings where you can change various different things. That beep which you've got, you can get rid of that if you want, or change it. So all in all, that control panel I really like. Very modern, very easy to use. So I mentioned the lighting. There's loads of really cool lighting in the vehicle. So you've got your lighting under here, which is obviously going to help with your cooking, which you can turn on and off with that separate switch there. You've got your lights around the pop top. You've obviously got lighting in the pop top as well. Look at those, smoke alarm and carbon monoxide alarm. Absolutely essential to be having in your vehicles, which I've discussed in numerous videos before. And this comes as standard from the actual manufacturer itself. So it's got LED lighting coming around underneath the kitchen units, but some lights which a lot of people really do quite like is this lighting on the floor here. That's really nice lights, and also underneath the kitchen units as well. So it's really well lit, really well-functioning campervan inside. Now, it's got blinds here, so you've got a blackout blind, and then also pulling up from the bottom, you've got your fly screen. So when you're out and about and you're in the 35-degree heat of the European countries which you may well be visiting, you've got your fly screen there. You can open the window and you can have that airflow coming through. But I'll come on to another feature of that side in a moment. I'm going to show you the internal side of the vehicle in a moment, but first of all we shall come up into this pop-top here. So this popped-up roof, this SCA roof, which it is, it's got a scenic canvas, so you can completely zip out this canvas, open it up and just experience that outdoor lifestyle without the mesh. You might not be able to see it, but there's a fly screen here, so you can still have all the lovely visuals and keep the bugs outside. Now look at this, you don't often see a ladder inside vans, and I know it's something which a few people have commented on before, and they do say when you're out and about meeting them, it's difficult getting in the pop-top. I'd like to sleep up there, but it's difficult. Well, with this van, it actually includes a ladder. And that is because this bed is arguably the better bed to be sleeping in of both the beds which you've got, because this is a wider bed, because it can utilise the full width of the vehicle itself. It's got this nice mattress on it, and again, like I spoke about before, this isn't just a bedboard which you can get with a lot of conversions. This is a sprung system. It's got springs, so you're actually not lying just on a bed, you're lying on some springs, so it's taking your weight and it's just making it just a more comfortable experience. You've also got a safety net here as well to make sure that if you do have any little ones sleeping up here, they're not going to fall out the end of this bed. And you can see poking through at the back there, that's your cable for your solar panel, and you've got this lovely lighting up here as well. So you really do have everything up here which you want. Lots of windows, you can open and close as you please, and I've mentioned obviously the smoke alarm and the carbon monoxide alarm as well. So let's get back downstairs, have a look on the exterior of the vehicle, and then we'll go and have a look in the cab. So coming to the exterior of the vehicle, we've got that sliding door, which I've already mentioned, and you can see there the all-important NCC approved manufacturer badge, because Swift are an NCC approved manufacturer. Obviously they do quite a lot of caravans, and there's a motorhome there which I'm not going to show you because that's going to feature in a future video. But they are an NCC approved manufacturer, so the standard which they build in these vehicles to is to the highest quality. So when you're buying a vehicle like this, you do know that it's going to be built well and it is going to be safe. So to this specific vehicle itself, now as I said, it's built on the Ford Tornado platform, which is essentially a Transit, but it isn't a Transit because it's the passenger carrying vehicle. So it does include extra creature comforts, some more benefits which you don't get in the Transit. But this particular model, it comes as standard with 19-inch alloy wheels. The vehicle itself measures, it's just over 5 meters, 5 meters and 5 centimeters. It's got a height of just over 2 meters, and the width-wise with the mirrors folding in is 2 meters 15. So that's the kind of size which is the same size as the Transit and the Transporter. So features outside. This is one of my favourites, and this is something which I really do find beneficial, which I've used in vehicles before, and that's the external barbecue point. To actually be able to connect your barbecue outside externally and have your Kodak stove or whatever it is you're going to be using, that's something really, really useful to have. So we've got the sliding door here on this side. I've already mentioned the alloy wheels. It's got the LED lights, Ford LED lights, which are really bright, really, really useful on the darker nights, and they just work. Obviously, we're talking about the camper van. We're not going to talk about much about the base vehicle of the van, but it is very high spec with it being the Tornado, as I said. What you will notice on this side of the van is it's got another sliding door. Something which you don't often find on camper vans. It's got a twin sliding door. So the benefit of this is you can actually access the kitchen from the outside. So as I mentioned before about the toilet, well, here you go. You can now actually remove this toilet from this side of the vehicle and be able to take it out and take that to your Elson point for emptying without taking it on the inside of the vehicle. It also means that when you are cooking and you are doing things here, you can be using this as a separate area outside. You might have your awning set up on this side of your van, and then you might be wanting to kind of pass food and drink outside. But you've also got this, and this is an external shower point. So the shower point, you've got the attachment for that, and you can use that for watering. Now, personally, I actually like that on the tailgate, because you can kind of pop it up on the tailgate and you can hang it over. But I'm pretty sure that you're going to be able to get some suction caps, attach the shower point to it on there, and then you can have a shower outside, maybe in the awning which you've attached to the side. So that is very, very different to what you see on a lot of other camper vans. And I've said before that I really do like twin sliding vehicles because you can access it on both ways. This vehicle is $71,995, and I do know for a fact that that price is actually going to be going up. So that you're not going to be able to get this vehicle for that price for very long, because the price of the vehicle is going up. This vehicle, as I said, it's got 230 volts, 240 volts, and this is the hookup point there. We're indoors at the moment, so you can charge the leisure battery, so that's already hooked up. Now, the tailgate. So tailgate-wise, it's not got anything here. This is a little bit of a wasted space, but means that you'll be able to buy something for it, and you'll be able to actually have something fitted, maybe some chairs, get a chair pod on the back of that, and then you'll be able to utilize the chairs. And the table for utilizing the chairs sits in the back of here. So this table here, not only can it be used inside the vehicle, but it can also be used outside. It just releases off here. You can take that away and you can have that outside, maybe in that external area which we just mentioned there, or inside the vehicle as well. So this all formulates part of the bed, but also in the back of here you've got the beautiful LED lights. It just adds a little bit of effect, doesn't it? It's, you know, it's something quite simple, but it does make it look pretty good. You've got your water filling point here, so that's where you would put your fresh water. You've got another 12 volt accessory socket there, and then this little cubby hole here, this little cupboard, is for putting your gas. And the bed's so far in I can't actually get in, but if you look in there, then you can see it's got all the gas system in there with all the correct fittings, and it's got the dropout vent and everything in there as well. You've got another 230, 240 volt socket here, and then you've got your storage area in here which you can access from the rear. I've just remembered I've not showed you the interior wardrobe. I'll pop that back to that in a moment. In the back here, again, something you don't get as standard on a lot of vans, and that is rear speakers. So this vehicle's fitted with Kenwood rear speakers, so you've got a bit of sound in the back. And from personal experience, having those extra speakers does make a very big difference. That audio quality is much improved when you've got them. So closing this, as you can see, it's a tailgate. And it says Tornado because it is the Tornado. Now, styling is very subjective. You kind of like it or you don't. It can be changed if you so wish with body kits and things like that. But personally, as standard, I actually quite like this. Kind of the darker rear lights, I think that looks really good, especially with this particular colour. Now, this colour is grey matter, it's called. And there's 4 colours at the moment in this Monza range. And this is the grey matter. And I personally think it's probably my favourite colour. The actual Swift branding with all the birds and things like that, I think that just like sets it off really quite well. So I've mentioned the solar panel. So on the pop-top roof, we've got a 200 watt solar panel. So that solar panel is going to be able to keep that fridge topped up, and the leisure battery, which you have as well. The leisure battery, as I've said, is 95 amp hour, and then that solar power there will help that, as well as the charging from the vehicle as well. So there's lots of little detailing, as you see on here. You've got the Swift birds, you've got the various different logos, you've got the blue accents, which again I like. It's got an awning rail already fitted to it. That is a multi-rail, so you'll be able to put your wind out awning on there as well, which is going to be available from your chosen dealership. I'm at Tamar Caravan Centre today. This is one of the new range of vehicles, and they will be able to provide you with a wind out awning or lots of other different kind of awnings should you so wish. So furthermore, on the outside here, you've got your wastewater drain and your fresh tank drain as well, if you put too much water in there and you want to get rid of it. So that comes out there, so really handy to have access to those. Also underneath the bottom of the vehicle there, you've got the exhaust for the diesel heater. Obviously you want those fumes coming well away from the vehicle. So just quickly back inside, I'll quickly show you that wardrobe before we have a look at the front dash, etc. So this is it's got a tambour door, and this tambour door opens up and you've got a wardrobe, although if you're any bigger than a foot tall, I'm not quite sure the clothing wise which you're going to get in there. But no, I'm only joking. This is a removable shelf, so if you did want to hang any garments in there, then you could do. But as most of us, well, I say most of us, I don't know many people who will be taking away and hanging clothes up. You're normally folding t-shirts and shorts and shirts away and different sorts of clothing away. You're not generally hanging it from experience, but if you did want to do, then that is something which you can do. And then underneath you've got all your electrical consumer units, control units, etc. there, which is supplied by Sargent. Hookup cable, you've got your shower hose in there, and that does go down a fair weight for other aspects as you want as well. So that's that. So let's have a look now at the front of the vehicle. So first of all, you can see that you've got this passenger seat here which is swiveled round. The driver's seat does as well, and I think that's very important. I personally like vehicles where both the front seats do swivel around. It's just better for when you're sat in this area here. You've got a table here, then 4 of you can be sat here. I don't like it when that seat doesn't swivel around. It does swivel around, but it's just not got it swivel around at the moment. So the seat, I'll show you this seat because that one's got the cover on. I've taken this one off. You can see it's got some nice bolstering here, and it's again like the rear seat. It's laid in exactly the same way with the leather stitching, the leather and the nice stitching around it. It's got the Monza in the headrest, and yeah, the seat looks really, really good. So coming into the front of the vehicle, and you've got this lovely looking modern cockpit. Now, a big difference here in a different model range is this is the 6-speed manual vehicle. If you're opted for the automatic, then that isn't actually going to be there. But what is common on both vehicles is the electronic park brake. So that park brake removes the need for that big handbrake which you used to have in the middle there. That's no longer going to be there because it's electric. Down here you've got a 12-volt accessory socket, and then you've also got a USB-A and a USB-C. The modern way, much improved, faster charging. So the actual vehicle itself, and look at this. This, like I say, is a brand new vehicle, so it's still got the protective screens on it. I can't actually take them off. Protective film must be removed by the customer. Digital display is far better. It is much improved than what it used to be on the old Ford Transit or the Ford or the Volkswagen Transporter. Much more modern, and this massive display which we've got here. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, DAB radio, you control all your air conditioning from there and everything. It's just far more modern than the other vehicles. In the front you've also got the glove box at the bottom, big area there. You've got the big dash on top for storing lots more goods as well. And then you've got another cubby at the top for chucking bits and pieces in there. Steering wheel, love it. Really quite nice to hold, nice shape. It's very different, certainly very different to some of the other brands of vehicle which we've got. Very unique. This one has got actual physical buttons, and they're quite soft to touch, and they do feel quite nice. Again, feel and things like that, subjective, but this has got cup holders. Yep, no more arguing about cup holders. This does have them.
So that's a lot more modern and a lot better. Some enhancements which have been made to the vehicle. I'm going to talk a little bit more in a moment about some of the additional features in the base van. But before I do, I just want to get out and I want to have a chat to you about some of the negatives about this vehicle. Because yes, it's not all positives. None of them are deal breakers. Well, maybe apart from one down here. But let's just have a quick chat about some negatives.
There are things about this van I would change though, not 100% about them. Some of them just are quite simple, but that being plastic, I'd much prefer, I'm tapping that and that sounds metallic, but that is plastic. But I'm guessing the actual cost of actually making that in metal would actually be a lot more. Also, these pipes down here at the bottom for the waste, why can't you just tuck them away? It just looks a little bit of an eyesore. Not particularly keen on that. And back round this side, the shower. Like, the shower point there, like, you've not got the tailgate to hang it up on. Yes, you could probably put some suction cups there, but I think it's just far better with it being on the tailgate itself. And also, some of these cupboards, I mean, the way the bed is at the moment, you can't get in that. And you can also not get in the gas locker at the back. But if you move it forward, you're not going to get in that. Which also leads me on to the actual toilet itself. Now, if the bed is laid out, you can't get the toilet out. But probably actually you should just be prepared for that and you should already have it out. Potentially in an outside awning, just a little toilet tent or something. That's probably the best thing to do there. Or I know people do put it at the end of the bed. Also, think about that access to the fridge when you go to the bed out. You need your milk in the morning. And also where the actual heating comes out. I mean, that's right there. We've got rid of the handbrake, so we've got that plenty of space. But then it comes up there. I mean, that's going to be something really easy just to kind of kick, and it's going to break. You know, it's just a piece of plastic. It's probably going to snap or break, or actually probably even worse than that. You're probably going to trip over it and maybe hurt yourself. Yeah, they could have done something better there. That's just, yeah, just don't really agree with that. So just a few minor gripes, but all in all, I do like the van. Lots of styling with the LED lights and the way the curvature of these units and things are concerned. It's all really good. And those seats, like I said, those seats are comfy. Those side bolstering and things, it's a comfy seat. Not been on any journeys in it, but I'm sure I am going to be doing in the future. And I have to say, while I'm talking about it, thanks to Tamar Caravan Centre for letting me come in again and having a look at their vehicles. I am going to be showing you some more of the campervans and motorhomes. But anyway, let's get back into the driving aspect of the vehicle. This campervan is really well spec'd for the van aspect of things, the actual driving side of it. This particular model's got a 6-speed manual and it's a 150 horsepower engine. That's a diesel 2 litre. You can also get it in the 2 litre diesel with the 8-speed automatic gearbox as well. But if you're a little bit more environmentally friendly, you wanted something a little better for the planet, then you can actually get it in a plug-in hybrid. That's now also specable for this van. Whichever powertrain you choose though, it's full of standard features. I've already mentioned these seats which I'm sat in, and they're really comfortable and they're very adjustable. You've got air conditioning. These electric power heated and electric folding mirrors are fantastic. They've got the mirror on the bottom as well, which makes sure that you've not got any blind spots. Got traction control, keyless start stop, cruise control and a rear view camera, along with parking sensors to make sure that you don't hit anything. It comes very well spec'd as far as the base van and the campervan's concerned. Let's not forget, these are quality components. That SCA roof, it features that sprung bedboard, a proper mattress. The Remo Variatech, it isn't a cheap option. It's littered with quality parts throughout the van. It is a high quality van with lots of good quality components. And for £72,000, yes, you could buy a motorhome. You could potentially buy a bigger campervan. You could buy a coach-built motorhome for that kind of money. But this is a different vehicle, isn't it? This is a van which you can take on the school run in the morning. You can go to work. You can eat your lunch in it. And then later on, you can pick the kids up from school and you can go on your adventures for the weekend. It is a multi-purpose vehicle. It isn't just going to be a vehicle for holidaying. So for that kind of money, it covers all those different things. You might not necessarily need a second car because this can do it. Yes, a motorhome is bigger, it's more spacious, it's probably got more things in it, but you can't take that on a daily drive. I like this van, and it is an alternative for those of you who do like your Fords. Then you might have been looking at the Ford Nugget. Well, this is actually a potential option for you. It's got an alternative layout. That layout, which I've said that some people say can be boring, but the reason it's fitted in lots and lots of vehicles is because it's very popular, because people like that layout. And yes, it's got a toilet, and yes, it's got a shower. So if you are looking for a well-spec'd van, then maybe this is one for you. And if you don't like it in this grey matter colour, it does come in 4 different colours as well. I'm going to be featuring a lot more motorhomes coming soon, including that one there, which you did actually see. That's the Swift Voyager, but I'm also going to be showing you the Swift Trekker as well, which is more of a bigger camper van. But if you've not got the kind of money for these kind of vehicles, personally I haven't, then maybe you want to see what Tony did with his van, where he spent less than £7,000 and he managed to build a camper van, a VW Transporter camper van, which he takes to lots of different places. Anyway, please subscribe if you do want to see lots more camper van videos. For now, take care, and I hope to see you soon.